Hey y'all, this week's video is going to be pretty short because it's pretty much just going to build off of all the stuff that you've been doing last time, using the same um, Hyper-V login, using the same System Center information, all of that kind of fun stuff. So the focus this week is on Hyper-V, and you're going to be doing a little bit of virtual networking, really just changing some of the adapters around to point at the right things. And that's really gonna be about it. So if you're unfamiliar with Hyper-V, at least more unfamiliar than what we've already done, then this video is gonna help you out a whole lot. Getting an idea of how to just focus in on how to create virtual networks is right here, and then creating a virtual machine right here. But this first video really kind of covers most of that anyway. So if you only watch one, watch this one. There's more information here. What's new in Hyper-V on Windows Server? I think this one's the one that focuses in on. Yeah, Server 2016. So that's going to be what you're logging into right now anyway, but also applies to Server 2019 as well. So this is good information to have as you move forward. And this one. So as usual, this is going to be where a lot of your quiz questions are coming from. So do have this open while you're going through the quiz, and keep that Control F handy. That will help you solve a lot of the questions that are going on through here. So yep, right there, your answers come from right here. Unit 5 Lab. Unit 5 Lab is about as usual as you get. First things first, log into our VM host here at .13. Or if for some reason 13 is not working, 27 should work as well. I've got it up here. So yeah, open up Start menu, Remote Desktop Protocol, a Remote Desktop Connection, yeah. Type in that IP address, log in with your credentials. Of course, the domain is student, and then / and then your username. That all goes in the username box, and then your password should be the same as what you use everywhere. Once you log in, the VM that you're going to be playing with is the one that doesn't have any special name on it. So in this case, it's host 01. And then as y'all get into yours, y'all's will be like 02, 03, 04, 15, 20, right? And so that number is going to come in handy. You're going to use that number a few different times, especially when you see stuff like this, host XX. For me, that would be 01. For you, that'll be whatever the number says, host whatever the number is. And like I said, that'll come up a few different times, so do pay attention to when you see this, any kind of XX at all going through. Yeah, so be sure that you're subbing in your number, otherwise it will likely not work. So going through here, you're basically just gonna create a VM. The VM's already created for you, so you're gonna install Windows on your VM using this information. Make sure you follow along here. So when it asks you as you're going through the installation, it's going to have a really large disk. I think it's like 1.2 terabytes. Only use 200 gigs for the first drive and install to that. We're going to use the rest of that 1 terabyte for other stuff. So don't, you can fix it after the fact, right? I mean, if you just do the entire disk and just, next on through, we can shrink that volume and, get to 200 gigs and then use the rest of that space elsewhere. But Windows does create a bunch of different partitions at the front and the back, and so that makes it a lot more difficult. So long story short, just follow this. Make sure you're doing 200 gigs on the disk when you start, rather than allowing Windows to just do whatever partitions it wants to do. From there, you go through installing Hyper-V. So install a role. You've done this before. Just install the Hyper-V role. Follow the instructions. There's really not a whole lot outside of right here where you're going to map a network drive. And so this is just going to be on the VM host. There's a directory called ITNW1313. map to that, and that's going to have a lot of the stuff that you need. So the Windows 10 ISO, the Server 2016 ISO. So make sure you get that done. If you have troubles with it, let me know. I'll be able to help out. And then, so yeah, a little inception, right? I mean, the idea is that you're logging into a Hyper-V host and creating a VM, and then you're going to, in that VM, install a Hyper-V host, and then create another VM. So yeah, there's a VM in a VM in a VM. That's that's basically what you're going to be doing, and this is the beginnings of nested virtualization. So you're starting with a nested a nested VM, and then yeah, you go in and create another one inside of that. Yeah, so it's just down and down and down and down and down. Anyway, but to you, it looks like you're not doing any of this stuff. So it looks like, I mean, yeah, to you, you'll basically just have a VM or a system, and inside of that Hyper-V. So this happens quite a bit. Let me see. Then outside of that, and just messing with the virtual machine settings. So it's really just, at this point, it's really just getting familiarized with Hyper-V. And then I think, yep, adding a virtual hard disk, something that you've done before in the other hypervisors as well. So a lot of rehash here. And that's why this video will not be very long. So anyway, that's your lab. If you need help mapping that shared folder right here, here's a quick video to show you how to do that. When you're done, any screenshot, does not matter what, just give me a screenshot of some kind in Unit 5 Lab, and then I will go in and grade what you've got on System Center. So yeah, right at the very end is usually a good thing. So right when you're getting done and about to close all the windows, just take a screenshot of that, submit that in this submission, and then I will go in and verify. So yeah, I'm not too worried about what the screenshot is. Once I have a screenshot, I'll know I can go in and grade. Yeah, just in case, WebEx, don't forget, that is Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays pretty much all day, 10 to 12 and 2 to 5, and then on Thursdays, 2 to 5. If you need something outside of that, please just let me know and we'll get it scheduled up. Your case project. Yep, super simple. Same thing we've been doing for the past few weeks. Just find out who's been using what. Server 2016 is losing some of its steam because 2019 is obviously out there. So, yeah, it's okay if you have to go a little historic on that. I'm not worried too much about it so long as you find me some companies that are running it. So not a lot of pressure there. And then, of course, put all your stuff together in a PDF and then upload that here. That'll pretty much handle you this week. If you have any issues or questions or anything like that, please feel free to send me an email, send me a Hangout, send me any kind of information or any kind of problem that you run into, and we'll work it from there. All right. Thanks, y'all.